Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are focusing on your body's ultimate multitasker. Think of your liver as the hardest working employee in the factory of your body. It's constantly filtering toxins, processing the nutrients from your meals, helping control your blood sugar, and producing proteins that literally keep you alive. But here's the dangerous catch. Because it's so incredibly resilient, when it gets damaged, it suffers in absolute silence. That's why today, we're decoding the 10 silent liver health indicators. Trust me, it doesn't complain until things are potentially very wrong.
So what exactly happens when this critical organ starts to fail quietly in the background? Well, you could be walking around feeling completely normal while fatty liver disease, chronic inflammation, or even severe scarring slowly develops. You wouldn't even know it's happening. Okay, let's dive right into this escalating mystery and decode the 10 silent signs that your liver is desperately trying to get your attention.
We're breaking this down into 3 phases, starting with phase 1, the easily missed clues. We really have to be empathetic here, because these early signs are so incredibly easy to brush off. We all live busy lives, right? It's super tempting to blame these initial symptoms on everyday stress. But starting our countdown at symptom number 10 is constant tiredness and weakness. Ask yourself, do you feel utterly exhausted even after you've gotten a full, solid night's sleep? Now, tiredness alone doesn't prove liver damage, of course, but when a struggling liver isn't functioning properly, your body's entire metabolism and energy balance are thrown completely off track. If extreme, unexplainable tiredness continues for weeks, your body is essentially telling you that its internal battery just isn't charging.
Let's move on to symptom number 9, which is unexplained severe itching. What's really fascinating here is the hidden mechanism behind the itch. We aren't talking about winter dry skin. When the normal flow of bile in your liver is affected, certain substances back up and build up in your bloodstream, triggering intense, persistent skin itching. The really dangerous part is how many people mistakenly treat this with moisturizing creams, thinking it's just a simple dermatology issue. They completely miss the internal cry for help.
Moving right along to symptom 8, loss of appetite. Remember, your liver plays a massive role in digestion and metabolism. As liver disease silently progresses, you might start feeling full unusually quickly, or maybe you just lose your interest in food entirely. Now, unexplained appetite loss can happen for a whole host of reasons. But when you combine it with that constant fatigue we just talked about, or even mild nausea, it becomes a crucial clue that the liver's metabolic engine is stalling out.
That brings us to phase 2, the output warnings. Now, we need to shift gears and look at bodily outputs. When the internal factory is struggling, we have to start paying close attention to the physical signals of internal blockages. Symptom 7 is upper right abdomen discomfort. Fun fact for you, your liver is actually about the size of a football tucked right there under your ribs on the upper right side. Early liver problems usually don't cause sharp pain. Instead, you might just feel a vague sense of pressure, a strange fullness or tenderness in that area. Listen, waiting until that dull discomfort turns into severe pain before getting checked is a major mistake. If there's pressure there, your liver is literally swelling for attention.
This brings us to symptoms 6 and 5, which we've combined because they're so closely linked. The crucial point here is comparing normal bodily outputs to what happens when bile flow is actually blocked. Normally, bile from the liver gives your stool its normal brown color. But if that flow is reduced, your stools can become unusually pale, gray, or clay-colored. At the exact same time, if your liver can't process bilirubin properly, it spills into your kidneys, turning your urine an unusually dark, tea-like color even when you're fully hydrated. Pale stool and dark, tea-colored urine together, that is a blaring siren for a bile blockage.
Now things get very serious with phase 3, the system alarms.
We are now moving out of the subtle clues and into serious medical emergencies where the liver is actively failing and the entire body is sounding the alarm. Symptom number 4 is easy bruising or bleeding. Your liver is responsible for producing the vital proteins that help your blood clot. In advanced liver disease, that production factory is essentially shutting down. If you're frequently waking up with large, unexplained bruises and you don't remember bumping into anything, or if you're experiencing unusual hard-to-stop bleeding, it means those critical clotting factors are dangerously low.
Coming in at symptom 3, we have ascites, which is the medical term for severe swelling. As liver disease becomes highly advanced, fluids start to accumulate and literally pool in the body. You'll noticeably see swollen feet, puffy ankles, or in more severe cases, the abdomen itself becomes visibly enlarged and tight with fluid buildup. This isn't just retaining a little water after a salty meal. This is a sign of severe liver distress that requires immediate medical evaluation.
Symptom number 2 is probably one of the most widely recognized red flags out there: jaundice. This is the distinct yellowing of the whites of the eyes or the skin.
It happens when that yellowish pigment, bilirubin, isn't being processed by the liver and instead builds up in your bloodstream. I absolutely cannot stress this enough. If you or someone you know develops a new yellowing of the eyes or skin, this is an absolute red flag. Do not wait. It requires prompt, urgent medical care.
And this brilliantly illustrates the climax of our countdown, the final, most severe, and most important warning sign.
Symptom number 1 is hepatic encephalopathy. I know it's a mouthful, but here's what it means. In severe liver failure, the organ completely loses its ability to filter toxic substances from the blood. Those toxins then travel directly to the brain. This leads to sudden personality changes, poor concentration, unusual behavior, extreme sleepiness, or even a total loss of consciousness. If a person suddenly becomes highly confused or unusually drowsy, it is a true life-threatening medical emergency.
Let's just take a breath for a second and look at how this all escalates. The progression is super clear. It starts in phase 1 with minor inconveniences. Feeling tired, a little itchy, maybe skipping a meal. Then it advances to phase 2 with visible output changes. That dull upper ache, the dark urine, the pale stool. And finally, if ignored, it crashes into phase 3 with massive systemic failures. Bruising, intense swelling, yellowing skin, and cognitive confusion. Seeing it laid out like this really highlights why we absolutely cannot ignore those early whispers.
So, let's talk about understanding your risk factors.
Now, let's step back. Having just one of these symptoms doesn't automatically guarantee your liver is failing. Context is everything here. Fatigue could just mean you had a busy week, but what exactly are those underlying risks? They include heavy alcohol use, obesity, type 2 diabetes, a history of hepatitis B or C, taking certain harsh medications long-term, or having metabolic dysfunction-associated fatty liver disease. If you have any of these risk factors combined with the symptoms we just walked through, you're in a much higher risk category, and those symptoms demand your immediate attention.
So what are your next steps? First, listen to your body. Don't guess, and please don't ignore it. Second, get a proper medical evaluation. It is incredibly easy to check your liver health. A simple set of liver blood tests or a painless quick ultrasound can tell your doctor exactly what's going on. And third, catch these problems before severe complications develop. Your health is entirely in your hands here.
I really want to leave you with this crucial thought. Early detection can make a huge difference because the liver has an incredible, almost magical ability to heal and regenerate itself, but only if you catch the damage before it turns into permanent scarring. We owe it to our hardest working organ to act quickly and decisively before it's too late.
Think about this as we wrap up this explainer. Your liver works silently every single day to protect your body. It's filtering out the bad, it's processing the good, and it literally never asks for a day off. So the question is, are you listening when it